Yo, yo, yo. There he is. There he is. Let me add him to the stream here. Yo, what's going on, man? Hold on a second. Let me get you a little bit better. There you go. What's going on? How you feeling? Happy New Year, my brother.
Happy New Year, sir. I'm doing well.
Turn up your microphone. We need to hear your voice, boy.
Microphone, yeah. Mm-hmm. Is that
God
better?
damn. You can't give me a little more volume?
Okay. Yo, you good? This is good?
Yeah, I need a little bit more volume. Where are you, in the toilet?
No, I'm using the stupid AirPods, man.
Yeah, turn up your volume a little bit.
I did. That's the maximum.
Hold on. So let me see what we could do here.
Oh, microphone. That
There you
better?
go. That's better. Yeah, that's better.
Okay, great.
Yeah. What was going on, man? You're a big IT guy, big
Yeah,
guy from MIT. You don't know how to use a smartphone? Yo, if you guys don't know, who we have
uh,
on the phone is the original creator of BostonReggae.com. The original creator. If you guys don't know who Anil Batra is, me and him together used to be in my mom's basement. When I started BobbyShakes.com, then he started BostonReggae.com. We used to be in my mother's basement, and we used to talk, think, and plot how we're gonna make reggae a better industry. Now he's got Pictora,
yeah.
and this is my homie for life. How was the
I just
cartel
said
show?
the show was
Yeah,
trash, man.
what do you mean it was trash?
Like I was waiting for this instant moment of the alliance forming on stage, but that was yet to happen.
Oh
And
my
that
god.
was time and money and resources.
I can't see your microphone. What are you doing? There you go.
Yeah, because of I'm in Netflix Express waiting on a bus, so I have these
You
like
have to
loud.
turn your mic up a little bit. Turn your mic up a little bit.
That's as loud as it gets, my friend.
Yeah, but your mic was better before.
No, but then I couldn't hear you because I was on speaker. That's the issue. I gotta use the
Oh,
AirPods. That's the issue, man.
so there's no way you could turn up the AirPods?
The AirPods is at the maximum. I'm trying to tell you, the AirPods is at the maximum. Yeah, I know it's a little
How
bit.
we?
Hold on. Let me use a different AirPod. Hold on, because maybe this is trash.
Yep.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Let me use a different AirPod.
Sort this thing out, will you?
How about now? This is
It's a
better?
little bit better.
Much better?
Much better.
Improvement?
Much better. Much better. Big
Okay,
improvement.
great. Wonderful.
Okay, so let's talk about the show. You said the show was trash. Why was it so trash?
Because for the money that I put into it and for the efforts and resources for me flying down to this third world fucking dirt poor country, you
Oh,
know,
wow.
with inbred people, it was pure fuckery, to say the least. To say the least.
So here's the thing. And I've been hearing that this show was pure fuckery from a lot of people.
No,
I've been
but
hearing that from a lot of people.
I hope for better. That's why I came. That's why I went to the fucking show. You know.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Here's the thing that a lot of people don't understand about Cartel. At the height of Cartel's career, he wasn't a good performer. At the height of his career, Cartel is not a performer. And about a month ago, I got to a huge debate with industry insiders. And I'm not talking about selectors, or I'm talking about a person that has been nominated and executives and nominated for Grammys, have won Grammys, and who have broke records, broke artists, and been on huge campaigns in dancehall. And I said to her, I said, Cartel has to be, because we will talk about Freedom Street over the summer.
Right.
And all the insiders, and these are insiders, I'm not even going to say their names, but the insiders were saying that they don't put Cartel in top 10 dancehall artists of all time. And they think that Cartel is going to lay an egg at this show. Like he's not going to be able to perform and it's going to be a waste of time. So that was the buzz in the industry in the summer. And this is
We have to look at the man's track record. We have to see, like, Cartel has been doing things for the last 20 years. He's been making music in prison while other artists can't even afford to feed their family. You know, that tells you that he's still in control and always was in control of this industry for the longest time. And his catalog is bar none. The way he came out at 11:30 and the show went till like 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning. That tells you that he has a whole, like, plethora of musical content, and he's a genius. But production wise, but you're right. As far as performance goes, it's non-existent. It's completely non-existent.
Yeah, I mean, Cartel wasn't a performer at the age of 24. How are you going to expect him to be a performer at 50 when he was locked up for 13 years? I think this is my whole thing about this whole Cartel thing. I think everybody that went to Jamaica was delusional. I think you guys are
highly delusional.
you guys are all delusional that went down to the show, right?
Yeah, right.
I believe that first of all, to really know Cartel, you got to be 50 years old, right? Half of I saw clips from kids that are like 25 and 30
who had no idea.
When Cartel was running the road, you had no clue who Cartel was, right?
Right.
When Cartel was running the road, I was still a kid and he was still a kid. And I videotaped Cartel in multiple venues across the globe, and he always lacked stage presence and performance. But his catalog is bar none. That's undebatable when it comes
producer
to Cartel.
Cartel is bar none. Cartel is bar none.
Music-wise, bar none. We all know, which I don't like to say, but we all know that Cartel even helped Bounty write some tune. He was the backbone of Alliance.
Yes.
So we understand that. But I think the Cartel show to me was like the Wizard of Oz. You guys all went to the Wizard of Oz. You followed the yellow brick road, Freedom Street, which is pretty funny. It's called Freedom Street. You followed the yellow brick road, and when you got to the castle, you pulled back the curtain, and there was a little short guy with a microphone.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened. Now, what I wanted out of the show, selfishly, for me, for BobbyShakes.com, one of the biggest reggae websites ever invented.
Right.
What I wanted selfishly out of the Cartel show was the unification of dancehall. I wanted to see Movado on stage. I wanted to see Killer on stage. I wanted to see the Seika on stage, the whole crew. I wanted to see Busy. I wanted to see the whole Alliance on stage to show the unification of dancehall and where we're taking dancehall to. That's
you
what
gotta crawl before you walk, brother. You gotta crawl before you walk.
But that's what I wanted out of this show. I didn't care about seeing Cartel's catalog. I didn't care about the show. I wanted to see the unification of dancehall. That's what I selfishly wanted to see. I wanted to see where we taking dancehall to. I did want to see Massacre on stage. I wanted to see Massacre. I wanted to see Skang, Skilly Bang, Croft, Chronic Law. I wanted to see all the young acts, of course, because that's a good place. That's a good place for them to launch off of. But I wanted to see the unification of dancehall. And I didn't see Movado. Was Movado there? I didn't see Movado.
No. He's not allowed to come to Jamaica.
Okay, so there we go. And I didn't see Massacre.
Right. There's no massacre.
There he goes. 13. Thank you so much. Reality check. I think y'all need a reality check. And this is the reality check. 13 years in prison with no exercise. What did you expect from Cartel? What did you honestly expect from Cartel? At the age of 50, locked up for 13 years, doesn't even know Cartel at 13 years removed from the culture. He doesn't even know how to command a presence.
No. He didn't know how to. He never knew how to command a presence. Like historically, he never knew how to command a presence.
And what really pissed me off about the show is you have everybody, can of butter babe on the check-in. What's up, baby? Snyder. See ya. Sorry for the boo, baby. I wanted to see the unification of dancehall and where we're going to take it. Where are we taking this machine? And I didn't get that. What I did get, and what I don't like, is the whole Popcorn and Chronic Law fiasco. I don't like that. I understand. There's a lot of people in this industry I want to go and tell them they're going to suck their mother. A lot of them. A lot of the promoters.
Yes.
Because when I apply for a press pass, when I apply for a press pass, and when I show up, I want to be able to get into the venue. But sometimes that just doesn't happen. And you face that too, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So as a seasoned artist like Popcorn, that's something you're supposed to understand. You're a veteran in the business. You understand that dancehall doesn't have any goddamn infrastructure. You know, when you show up to a venue, you're going to be waiting outside for a long time. That's just what it is. I understand that. And I understand.
It's going.
I understand what Popcorn's going through. But on this world stage that we're at, to tell people to go and suck their mother when you have 18 private jets in Jamaica Airport, when you have yachts pulling in, that was the biggest New Year's Eve event in the world. And all we're talking about is Chronic Law and Popcorn telling people to go and suck their mother. That's a slap in the face to the fucking industry.
Yes, completely. And it was really uncalled for. The antics and the behavior. Cartel was released from prison, and this is his celebration of a way of a coming out party. And this is really badly executed. And it was completely unprofessional on both Popcorn's effort. Also, Scott Burrell has a lot to do with it, I would say. So there's really no need and no call for any of the antics and the behavior. I know it's dancehall, and dancehall there's going to be controversy, but professionalism, you don't need any type of negativity considering the man just come from jail. You know what I'm saying?
Move the camera. We're just seeing your lips. There you go. We want to see your face. No, we want to see your lips.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's better. I mean, I get it. And I was at Sting with Popcorn when Cartel just got locked up. It's probably like 10 years ago. And we're at the gate, and Popcorn's entourage gets into a fight at Sting. So this is what Popcorn does. I've seen it, and this is not something I'm just talking. This is something I've seen with my own eyes.
Firsthand, of course.
So, and that's when Popcorn wasn't that big. I mean, he had a good entourage, but he wasn't as big as he is now. So money only amplifies your problems. So now that he's bigger, he's going to have a bigger entourage, and he's going to keep up more fuckery. So I'm not
All right,
surprised
good.
that's something Popcorn would do. And I hear Foot the Hype talking about how you're supposed to letting 50 man into the show. No, you're not. No, you're
But
not.
if you call yourself a man, why you come with a whole bag of man then?
Yeah, I
If you're
mean,
going to be,
come on.
yeah.
And
So
I
why
get
is
it.
he rolling like that? I thought he's supposed to be some type of godless, but he rolled with a whole bag of man.
You
Just
come to a show with a whole one scandal bag of man instead of you, that's something that you show with like 10 girls.
right, right. Or maybe 12. You know,
Yeah,
keep it
12 girls, you
a
show
dozen
up.
females. Yeah.
Yeah, you have one or two shotters with the thing, even though you couldn't bring the thing in. You know what I'm saying? You're at
Yeah.
Cartel's event. He's the world boss. Ain't nobody getting touched at Cartel's show on that stage. So there's no need for the bagaman. There's no need for it.
Sound hired 7,000 extra security just for that one event. I
Right.
mean, nothing's going to pop off in there.
Nothing's gonna
The
pop off in
prime
there.
minister is in attendance at this concert. That's the safest place in the whole freaking island. Is this national stadium on that one night? On that one night, I wouldn't say on other night, but on that one night, all the third class people in the island stayed at home. It's a,
It was a VIP event.
yeah, supposed to be.
It
I
was a
mean,
v,
was it?
it was a
It
VIP
was
event.
in quote. I mean, I'm from New York, so we do VIP event and then the Jamaican VIP event. It's night and day, brother. It's night and day.
Yo, Neil, I really don't like how you shitting on my people in there. And this is why I don't listen to soca. Because you Trinidadian motherfuckers are feisty. You hear that?
No, because the Jamaicans talk like they have a whole bag of rocks in their breath, and the beer is not that tasty. The restaurant is like just
No,
a
no, no,
tad,
no, no, no,
a
you
tad,
disrespect the
a
thing. No, no,
tad
no, no.
above urine. It's a tad that
No,
tastes
no, no,
better
no,
than
no, no,
urine.
no, no, no,
I
no.
think
This year I
urine tastes
disrespect
better
the
than
thing.
restaurant.
No, 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 no. This year I disrespect the thing now. Jamaicans, we are the superior race out of everybody. We're the chosen people. A lot of people
Mm,
say they're the chosen people. Us Jamaicans are the chosen people.
no, you endured more. You endured more, but we can't go that deep into it right now because
Of course, we gotta go deep in that. Are you
we
crazy?
can't
We're
go
the
too deep
chosen
into
people.
it right now.
Where are you right now? Where are you right now?
I'm in Jamaica.
All right, you're not in Trinidad. How come you're not in Trinidad? Listen to some bullshit soca.
Because I don't like soca personally. It's too happy. It's too happy.
Ah,
I'm a real person. I don't like you said this fairy tale, this wonderland effort. Like that's what happened at the cartel show.
yeah.
Yeah.
What I really loved about the cartel show was to see Killer on stage.
That was a grand finale. That was a coup d'etat. Give me 1 hour of Bounty Killer and Vibes Cartel, and I would have gone home happily. I would have gone home. Everything in the middle just did not exist. You just give me an
Right.
hour of Vibes and Bounty, and I would have got my money's worth. Honestly, everybody intentionally got their money's worth, but have to endure. And the longer the show went, the worse it got. It was like painful to watch at certain moments. Honestly.
Yeah, because none of the big artists is on. There's no big artists on the show. There's no Movado.
Spice.
Oh yeah, Spice is big. I'm not gonna. I'm not. I can't. Rompin' Shop was a crossover hit.
Yeah,
Hit.
top 100,
Top
urban 100.
100. She's on what is it? Basketball Wives, whatever she's on. What is she on?
Some
Right.
love
Loving
and
hip
hip hop.
hop. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, whatever. Yeah,
Big show.
reality TV. But yeah, she's in Jamaica and she made it.
She
That's all.
made it.
She's on the cover of freaking Vogue magazine. Spice.
Ah. Spice is it. Spice is it.
Pepsi Cola ambassador. I mean, Spice does everything, man. Grace
What?
Kennedy also. She got a whole food thing going on. Spice is really, really, despite how sexualized she is,
Right.
Spice is still
She's a
getting a
heavy
lot of
hitter.
endorsements. She's getting a lot of endorsements, so she's getting catching a lot of cashing a lot of checks,
Cashing a
to
lot of
say the
checks.
least.
So we
Exactly.
have a question. What about Skillies? You got to understand, and I'm not disrespecting no artist, because when we launched this platform, me and Neil said we're always going to protect the. This is the only place where we're going to protect the artist unless they do some fuckery.
Yes.
Shakes is Live is the only place where we protect the integrity of the artist and the culture. I'm not, and I'm only going to call out shit. I will not allow Popcorn to behave like that, because I know that's how he gets down. That's how he moves. So Popcorn will we have to deal with that honestly.
But you have to say
Honestly.
that popcorn now is more established than it was when we first launched this, Bobby. When we first launched this, popcorn was kind of like middle of the
Middle
road,
of the road.
maybe an opening artist. But
Right.
now popcorn could headline anywhere in the world if he chose to.
And look how he behaved. Look how he
Is
behaved.
is that just the is it just that the nature of the business, or does he feel he has to show out in front of his whole bag of mind? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know what it is. I understand Chronic Laws
Because
talking
some people,
crazy.
when they're by themselves, they're completely nice and wonderful people. But when you add the extra element, I have to be this way in order to create this type of vibe or persona. So I have to just respect security. I have to behave this way. Otherwise, it's not typical me, Like how Charles Barkley used to run the league when he was back in the NBA, like during the Jordan era. He had to get a lot of technical fouls. He had to be a bad boy to get respect.
Yeah, but when you look at something like that, that's just bad
Yeah,
press.
right.
That's just bad press.
Understood. Yeah. Back then.
What happened? What they say to you?
Oh, I'm on the Dutch Express, so they have to keep down the volume of the phone call a little bit because I'm going to the Immaculate concert.
What course are you heading to tonight?
Barris Hammond and Buju Banton tonight in
All
the
right.
Quarry.
And
So get
what time is that show tonight?
well, consider it is Jamaica.
Yo, watch your mouth about
what
Jamaica.
what time does the show start, or what time do I anticipate getting there? I anticipate getting there by midnight, but they say on the ticket the show starts from 5 p.m.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
It's 5 p.m. You have to go in there. Yo, listen, man. You're from Trinidad, so you don't really understand the culture. A lot of y'all don't understand the culture. All right, I'm trying to educate y'all about the culture. You're gonna go early. You're gonna get some pan chicken. You're gonna drink 2 juice. You're gonna find a little girl from somewhere. You're gonna chat her up. You're gonna tell that you're the big CEO from BostonReggae.com, Pictora, right? You're gonna tell her that you're an MIT graduate, because we only have smart people on this channel. We only have smart people on the stream, right? If you ain't got no big degree, you can't come on here. So you're gonna go there at 5. You're gonna have some juice. Don't eat no pork. Don't go to
No
my
pork,
country, eat no jerk pork. All right,
no
you're gonna
pork.
go there and have some pan chicken, right? Go there early, maybe some steamed fish, okra, right?
Yeah.
Crackers. Find a nice little thing. You gotta get there early at 5, because you gotta grab something. You have to
Wait,
grab something.
I might get there by 10 p.m. I don't anticipate the show starting until midnight, honestly.
Of
I
course,
think it's
it's
gonna play
Jamaica.
a whole heap of selections. And
Yeah.
then the show start like sorry. I
So
gotta
Sniper
ask.
wants to know. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. She looks beautiful, by the way. How do you feel about Skilly's performance? Skilly Bang. How did you feel about Skilly Bang's performance?
Minutes of fame on me.
Listen, I don't know what you people want from Skilly, Skang, Croft. They're young artists. They don't have a big catalog. They're new to the business. This is the problem.
Draxel will also be making our connections for those of you who are going for Antonio or Maria. That would be our second stop, but as we progress, we'll be updating you on what's happening, what's going on.
We have to pause.
As for the amenities of this unit, we apologize as this unit does not carry a Wi-Fi and it does not carry a restroom, right? So when we get to Draxel,
No restroom.
On the path.
You
And the
leave.
Wi-Fi. And the
You
Wi-Fi.
big man like you making over $200,000 a year. You go to Jamaica. You can't even take a proper bus to the venue.
I gotta go to the hotel first. I could have taken the proper bus, but I couldn't.
Yeah, you have money. Go down there and spend some money. You're a tourist. Spend some money in my country. What the fuck y'all feel like?
But the thing is, that's what's owned by outside. It's not owned by Jamaicans. Nothing's owned by Jamaica.
We're not gonna.
USB cables or
Yo, Sniper, I don't think he likes Skilly Ben's performance. I mean, think about this is my problem with Skilly.
Skilly.
You have to talk up a little bit. Talk up a little bit. Tell them that you're a big time media representative from foreign and you're on the big stinking bombo platform and you need to talk so the people can hear you.
Yeah, but they already told me they already told me to be quiet because it's a voice. That's the problem.
This is what we're gonna do, Neil. When are you gonna be to the hotel?
5:30.
All right. So at 5:30, we're gonna talk about this. Because I don't want you to come to my country and disturb the people then.
I apologize.
Yeah. Say, apologize to Jamaica right now. Thank you. Yeah. We're not take no disrespect in 2025. Neil, I love you like a brother. You know that. I love you like a brother. And let's pick this up again. Love you, man. Be safe.
Cool.
Yeah. That's my brother, man. I love giving him shit, but that's my brother. That's my brother. Yeah, Skeng's energy, but that's Skeng. I mean, Skeng's always gonna have a good energy. All right. I mean, it's good. Skeng is good. Skilly is good. Like all the young artists is good. Chronic Law is good. But the only thing I wanted out of that show was to see the real big artists on that thing, right? I wanted to see Busy, Cartel, Movado, Bounty together on stage. This is what we need. We need more unity in Jamaica. We need more unity in the culture. Because we got to take this shit to another level. The level that we're on right now, the suck your mother level, we got to be off that shit. And when you look at these artists now and you look where they're at, that's why they're at where they're at. Because they don't have the ability to evolve. And I'm not going to come on here and defend no fuckery. Especially when the whole world is looking at my country under a magnifying glass. And then to have that behavior happen is disappointing. But I do think a lot of y'all are delusional. And it's a perfect analogy. Freedom Street was a yellow brick road. Let me see what color. Let me see what color Freedom Street was. Let me see. Let me go on the fly because Bodanovich, the big promoter of the event, sent me a flyer. Let me see here. Let me go to the flyer. But Bodanovich, I don't want to fly next time. I need a plane ticket. What you feel like? Let me see it. Give me a second. I'm trying to look at the Freedom Street flyer that they sent me. Let me see here. Freedom Street. I don't even see it here. Where is it? There's so much shit in my WhatsApp, man, that they were just sending me. Where is it? All right, let me go on. Let me go on the web real quick. Sorry. I got to make sure that my analogy makes sense here, and then we're gonna wrap this shit up here. Freedom Street Flyer. All right, so I believe when people say the show, they wanted more out of the show. I use this analogy. Freedom Street was the yellow brick road. And everybody got on the yellow brick road. You got a heart. You got a brain. You picked up some courage. And you went down to Jamaica and you got on the yellow brick road. And when you got to Oz, you saw the beautiful castle. And when you stepped inside the castle and you pulled back the curtain, there was a little short dude on the microphone. That's what happened. It was the Wizard of Oz. But we have to look past that. We have to look, did this concert move dancehall forward? That's the question of the day. Not if Cartel performed well, because the only artist in Jamaica that's actually aging like wine is Bounty. Every other artist in Jamaica is aging like fucking vinegar. They're aging like vinegar. So we know Killer's gonna do his thing. But I don't know what we want. I don't know what we want. To me personally, I was extremely happy to see Bounty Killer and Cartel on stage together. And for Cartel to pay homage to Bounty, and then for Bounty to pay homage to Cartel. That is the highlight of the night. That's what the Jamaica Gleaner should be writing about. That's what the Star should be writing about. That's what the New York Times should be writing about. That's what all you people that watch the show should be talking about. I don't want to hear nothing about Skilly, Skang, Spice. I don't want to hear none of that shit. Because we're going to start educating y'all. If y'all want to be a part of this culture, you need to know Wagwan in this culture. This is not hip hop where you can jump in and jump out. You have to dedicate your life to it. And nobody's talking about the unification of Bounty and Cartel. One night on stage together, two prominent figures in our culture, burying the hatchet, coming on stage, and giving the culture what we need. This is what we need. My only disappointment, and it's not did Skelly perform well or how was Skeng? My only disappointment is that Movado wasn't there. Movado needed to be there. Massacre needed to be there. Stephen and Damon Marley needed to be there. Because we want to unify the culture. And I get it. You want the people from Gaza to get their shine. But you got to understand, in Jamaica, things could go on all night. So you could have had other artists come early. You could have had Steven and Damon come in and drop a one thing, like a Welcome to Jamrock. Would have been an amazing song. Because Welcome to Jamrock. Welcome to Jamrock. Welcome to Jamrock. Welcome to see something that you've only seen on the websites and the blogs. Because a lot of y'all have only seen this shit on the blogs. A lot of y'all have never really lived this. Right? So we need that Welcome to Jamrock. Steven, Damon. We needed probably Jimmy Cliff to show up. That's what we need. Capleton. Sizzler. We needed a unification of dancehall. We needed to see Sizzler and Bounty on stage together. We need to let the people know. We need to let the people know, the fans of this culture know that everything is all good. We're all from Jamaica. We're all from Haiti. We're all from Trinidad. We're all from Barbados, the Bahamas, Cuba, Dominican Republic. We're all from the Caribbean. So we need a unification to let people know that this is where we're at. This is the love, and this is where we're moving the culture forward. And that's my only complaint. I wish more big artists was on the show. Not disrespecting other small artists, but I just wish that. Oh, Happy New Year, Velma. My cousin is in the chat. And I had this conversation with my older cousins last night, and she was livid. Right? Because you got to understand, a true Cartel fan is like 56 to 60 years old. Because when Cartel was out, there's a certain corners I couldn't go in because I was too young. Right? My cousin's 56 years old. And she was old enough to see Cartel. A lot of y'all don't even know who the hell Cartel is. Because when Cartel was, by the time you heard about Cartel, he was in jail. And she was livid at the fact of what happened in Jamaica. A global stage. I mean, have Popcorn and Chronic Law telling people to go and suck their mother. That is craziness. And I think the people of Jamaica talk too soon. Because I was reading the comments on the stream, and everybody was saying this. Freedom Street brings artists together and brings the dance hall together, while Sting promotes war and controversy. And so that was the topic all night. That Freedom Street brings Jamaica together. It doesn't splinter it. And then Popcorn. And I get it. I get both sides. I'm going to say this again before we get out of here. I love you, cuz. Thank you so much for coming in the stream. I get it. I think I'm a big deal in dancehall globally. The promoter will call me, right? Especially when I go to Jamaica. I hate this shit. Because I don't, because sometimes because you know how it works, right? You go to Jamaica, you see a little thing, she's nice little black woman, or a browning, or you doing your thing in Jamaica. And she's like, yo, let me get your phone, right? So every time I go to Jamaica, I get a Digicel phone. You meet a little shorty, you give her the phone. And none of them has ever called me back, right? But they all get my Digicel phone. But Jamaican women look so good that when they need your cell phone, you just give it to them. And you're from foreign, so you just got to give them your cell phone. So I get booked to do shows in Jamaica. I go down there. The first thing I always go is check Digicel, buy my cell phone. So now I could move in the country. I got the Wi-Fi. I'm on the service. You know what I'm saying? You go to the bun and cheese shop. You meet a little something. You know what I'm saying? Now you and her is parring. And then you go, yo, we're going to this show. And I have two phones. My phone from America. My phone from that I just got in Jamaica. She ain't got no cell phone. So I give her the cell phone, load it with minutes, so she could go on and hype all over the place. Y'all know how them go. So now I got this American phone. And sometimes the American phone doesn't work in Jamaica, right? So I'm calling the promoter, calling. He's not picking up his phone because he's not answering a 617 number, right? So I get it. I get the frustration that sometimes I'm just outside the venue for an hour waiting to let in because the security guard didn't let me in. And then I go to the catty I'm with, and she burned up all the minutes on the phone. So now I'm pissed. I'm pissed at her. I'm pissed at me for giving her my cell phone. Pissed that I should have bought two cell phones. I should have bought a Digicel for her, a Digicel for me, because they're not answering the American phone. So I get it. Sometimes you wait outside a venue for hours because the logistics of throwing a show is crazy because there's no infrastructure on how they throw shows. And it's not really a Jamaican thing because it happened to me the other day when I was going to Cass. We're talking Live Nation here. Your name is on the guest list, you +5. This is my entourage. I'm not like some of these dancehall artists. When I roll to a show, I roll with like 5 women. Always roll with 5 women. I'm a gallus. So when I go to these shows, I'm always with 5 women. And it's embarrassing because they're in high heels and we have to walk to this window. Then they tell them to go down the street and walk down to this window, right? And then, women start talking. Bobby Shakespeare, think you say blah, 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 blah. So then you get ignorant. So now you want to go and bat up the security guard for not having your press passes and all your logistics together. And sometimes it takes an hour. That's just part of the business. But I would never go into the venue once I get in and hype with the girls that I have and tell somebody to go and suck their mud. I would never do that. I just understand that's the business. So I understand Popcorn's grievance. But I also understand Scatter's grievance. I was there. This is not something I don't talk about something that I don't live. I've been to Sting with Popcorn. We go inside and his crew and the security guard is fighting. They're fighting. And that's when Popcorn wasn't even that big yet. And that's when they were supposed to let Cartel out of jail to come perform at Sting. Because that's what in Jamaica they usually do, right? They lock up Ninja, some fest, they let him out. Sting, they let him out. So we just thought that the Jamaican government was going to let Cartel out. And Movado was supposed to fly down because we wanted to see the huge war. We wanted to see Killer, Movado, and Cartel on stage. That's what we wanted to see. And I was there. And Popcorn and his people get into a fist fight with the security guard. And now I'm tussling with the security guard because I'm with Popcorn. I'm with Popcorn the whole weekend. We're moving up and down because we're there a week before. We're hanging out with Lang, interviewing Lang. We're with Shaggy. We're up and down all over the island. We're at Moss Camp. We're with Bounty Killer. We're popping Hennessy. So once you start popping Hennessy, you know what I'm saying? That's your crew now. And the same thing that Popcorn did at Freedom Street is the same shit he did at Sting. And I understand Scatter's situation. Because sometimes I get it too from promoters. Like, yo, Bobby. Because motherfuckers, you got to understand there's a limit to how many people could come in. Right? Sometimes the venue will have a capacity for the crowd, right? Sometimes the artist and the entourage doesn't go into the capacity of the venue, right? So let's say the venue is holds 3,000 people and the place is sold out. In some venues, they will allow your entourage to come in. But sometimes the capacity regulations is everybody in the venue. Sound, light, camera, everybody's included in the overall capacity. So you got to be aware of that as an artist. You can't just roll up with your neighborhood and expect to get 50 people in. When you're talking to the box office and the box office is like, yo, tickets is not running right now. This stuff costs money. This stuff costs money, and this is some stuff that y'all have no idea what's going on. I spoke to me and my friend spoke about the other day about concerts. It's big money to throw a concert on. It's big money for hotels. It's big money for sound, lighting, permitting, food trucks, barricades, security. All that shit's a part of your bottom line. So when the gate is not picking up the money that you want it to pick up, and then somebody shows up with 30, 40, 50 people, like between Chronic Law and Popcorn, there's probably like 50 people. You start to think like, yo, that money should appear to come in. So we have to understand both sides. And a lot of people in the industry, like Foot the Hype, I don't really appreciate what you're saying. Just because Popcorn is performing for free, you shouldn't have to bring that does not give him the right to bring all of Jamaica into the man's show. And if that's the case, if you want to bring 50 people in, then you make sure everybody get wristband and whatever ahead of time. And you're probably still going to have to wait an hour. A lot of artists are waiting for an hour. Bounty was waiting outside, but you didn't see Bounty come on stage and keep up no fuckery. Just a bad look. But I just want to say here, I wasn't expecting nothing more from Cartel that he gave. 50 years old, 13 years in prison, has a disease. What I loved about the show, and I want everybody that's watching this to start talking about in the barbershop, is the fact that Killer and Cartel was united on a global stage. And for me, that's a win. To me, Freedom Street was a success because you gotta have the godfather. Bounty Killer is the godfather of this. And now we just gotta work on bridging the gap between Movado. We need Movado back. We need Movado, Cartel, and Bounty. The same way we have Beanie and Bounty. We have to move we have to move forward. We have to set an infrastructure for the Skangs and the Skillies and the Crofts and the Chronic Laws to make some money. Bounty, Beanie, Cartel. Y'all supposed to be doing stadiums at this point. Y'all supposed to be selling out TD Bank North in Boston. That's where y'all supposed to be. And then we could give the House of Blues to the Crofts, the Skangs, and the Skillies, and the Chronic Laws. But we're not getting that. A lot of dysfunction in our culture. And we got to fucking fix it. Because if there's infrastructure in the culture, then guys like me can make money. I started this stream. We just started streaming about 8 months ago. And we had 1,300 people watching the stream New Year's Eve. We had 1,300 people watching the stream on YouTube. We had 300 people watching the stream on X, Twitter, whatever. Those are big numbers for this small platform that we have. That's because Cartel set the bar. So there's a trickle-down effect. So if these artists are on a plateau, then there's a trickle-down effect. If Cartel is making $500,000, I could make $250,000. And then everybody below me could start to make money, and we all could start to eat. Because this industry, this thing helps industry. I said this to a person, I'm gonna wrap this up. I said this to a person the other day. The closing of 3 C's in Boston, that murder cost the Boston economy probably $1 billion. And people think I'm crazy when I say that. When you close 3 C's, that affects drug sales. That affects dudes selling drugs on the street. If dudes are not selling drugs on the street because there's no venue to impress anybody with, they're not buying BMWs. They don't have 6 or 7 shorties on the side that they're paying for. Those 6 or 7 women got to go shopping. Those 6 or 7 women got to go to the hairdresser. Those 6 or 7 women have to buy weave. Those 6 or 7 women have to get red bottom shoes. Those 6 or 7 women got to get the Gucci and the Louis bags. The alcohol that you're purchasing to stock the bar at 3 C's is money. The tax revenue that's going back to the state of Massachusetts is money. The lawyers, the cops working overtime to lock up the drug dealers is making money because there's more cases coming in. When there's violence and a murder and you lock down 3Cs, that affects everything. That affects gas. Nobody's buying gas to go out. Nobody's buying shoes to go out. Nobody's buying Nikes. Nobody's buying True Religion jeans. Nobody's shopping at Banana Republic. No one's going to the mall. You go to the mall to buy some stuff, to go to 3Cs. You're going to get something to eat in the food court. It's economics. It's economics. Our behavior affects economics. When you have 18 private jets fly into Jamaica and they're sitting down in a crowd and they're seeing that nonsense, it's a black eye on everybody. When they shut down 3Cs, that killed everybody. That killed the industry. If they're not throwing any shows, then the sounds are not getting paid. If the sounds are not getting paid, they're not cutting tunes. They're not cutting dub plates. That's $800, $1,000 going back to the artist back in Jamaica. So then that artist in Jamaica can now feed his family and buy everything that he wants and finish rendering his house in Jamaica. So if we're not cutting dubs because we're not playing out, that affects the artist back in Jamaica. That affects the man that built a studio in Jamaica. Sound plays out, they cut dubs, pays the artist, you buy studio time. Now you play out. Right? You need a flyer. We got to put that sound on a flyer. So you got to go to the flyer man. Now when you go to the flyer man, you got to promote that flyer. You got to give Bobby Shakes money. Then you got to pay Bobby Shakes to come and videotape the dance. Then Bobby Shakes got to do and go and buy DVDs and DVD cases. That's money. So now I get the DVDs. So now I have 200 DVDs from Friday night. Now I got to go and work the streets. I got to go to the hairdressers. I got to go to the barbershops. Now I'm selling the DVDs in the barbershops. We used to move 500 CDs on a Saturday and then 500 CDs on a Tuesday. That's a lot of stuff. That's shipping. That's money I'm spending over here. That's coming to here that I'm making and I'm putting it out. That's economics. So now while you're waiting to get your hair done, you're buying a Bobby Shakes DVD, you're buying stuff from the boosters. And if you don't buy stuff from the boosters, then you're going to go buy the stuff. It's all economics. All this shit is tied in together. All of this shit is tied in together. And when we misbehave and misrepresent our culture, everybody gets affected. Everybody. Just remember this, man. The logistics to throw a show, it costs big money to throw a show. So the next time you're waiting in line and you're pissed off and you're cold, remember this video. It costs a lot of money to throw a show. A lot of logistics, a lot of moving parts. Nothing happens how it was written in show business. Every single event is fucked from the beginning. Every event. Because new things happen. I had 3 or 4 people on the ground at Freedom Street that was supposed to stream back content back to me, and they couldn't get on Wi-Fi. Because you have too many people using the Wi-Fi in Jamaica. So at what point does the artist think that, yeah, you're calling the promoter to get you in and he's not answering his phone? Maybe because he can't get the service. And this is what the stream here is about. The stream is about to educate y'all about what is going on, because y'all have no clue what's going on. You go, you pay your $25, $50, $60, you show up at the venue. You don't know the logistics behind what it takes for that to happen. None of the people, none of the influencers in Jamaica that's supposed to call me back with content couldn't call me back. They couldn't get on Wi-Fi. And they have a Jamaican phone. People that had an American phone, forget about it. Couldn't reach them, couldn't connect with them. All right. We'll be back around 5 o'clock when Anil checks into the hotel. We could be loud. You know, Jamaica's a place of principle and manners. We can't be on the bus screaming and yelling. Thank you so much for watching the stream. So yeah, I gotta fix this. There we go. Thanks so much for watching the stream. I had a DJ control. I had to take it back, so we couldn't play no music. But I just want to thank Canna Butter Babe, Sniper. Who else? My cousin. Thank you so much for y'all coming in. Come back at 5 o'clock, and we're gonna see Bounty and Barris tonight. It's gonna be exciting. Love y'all.